All right, so are you ready to kind of step into a world of mystery and intrigue?
Always.
I like that.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is a very, very, very interesting rabbit hole, and I'm really intrigued to hear your take on this.
Okay.
We're talking about secret societies,
Ooh.
and specifically one that sparked endless fascination and speculation,
Okay.
the Bohemian Grove.
It's a place that has captivated the public for, I don't know how many decades. It's a place where the most powerful people in the world gather behind closed doors.
Right, and what really goes on there? What goes on there? That's the question that has fueled so many conspiracy theories and speculation.
Exactly, yeah.
And today we're going to examine those questions, unraveling the layers of secrecy and exploring the clash between those who guard those secrets and those who want to expose them.
So we're starting with this heated encounter between Alex Jones, who, our listeners will know is a radio host known for his, let's say, direct style, and David Gergen, who was a political figure, very well respected, and advised multiple presidents, and who also happens to be a member of the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, and this interview, I mean, talk about a wild ride.
Yeah.
I mean, Jones, it's like he ambushes Gergen about his membership in this super exclusive club, and sparks fly. I mean,
It is a really fascinating glimpse into the dynamics of power and secrecy and the lengths people will go to protect those things.
protect both of those things, yeah.
So we're going to be, we're going to analyze this interview, try to tease out these moments and figure out, like, what are the bigger implications? What does this tell us about the way that power operates in our society?
Yeah, I love it. So before we get into the actual interview itself, can you just set the stage and give us a little background on the Bohemian Grove? Like, what is this place and why has it become such a focal point for speculation? I'm very curious about that.
Okay, so the Bohemian Grove is this 2,700-acre campground. It's in Monterey, California, which is north of San Francisco.
Mm.
And every July, some of the world's most powerful men, we're talking, politicians, business leaders, media moguls, celebrities, all of them, they gather for 2 weeks of, I guess you could call it like a summer camp for the elite.
It sounds like a pretty exclusive club.
Oh, yeah. And I think part of what makes it so intriguing is that it's so shrouded in secrecy. The members are bound by this, like, unspoken code of silence about what actually happens there.
Right, so what do we know? Like, what do we actually know about what goes on there? I mean, it's pretty secretive, so.
Well, officially it's a retreat, a
Right.
place where these men can escape the pressures of their daily lives. They relax, they socialize, and they do some artistic pursuits. There's theatrical performances and musical events.
Okay.
But because it's so secretive, there's been so much speculation about, are there more, like, clandestine activities going on?
Right.
Like, what's really happening there?
Yeah, like what? Give me some. I mean,
Well, one of the things that people talk about the most is this ritual called the cremation of care ceremony. And it's basically this big symbolic ritual, and it's supposed to represent the shedding of worries and responsibilities.
it's interesting. Right.
Very metaphorical.
Yes.
Okay.
But they keep the details really tightly under wraps. And that just adds to the mystery, right? People are like, what is really going on? What does this actually represent?
Yeah. Okay, so we have the secretive gathering of powerful men engaging in these rituals that are totally shrouded in mystery. No wonder it's got the attention of someone like Alex Jones, right? He loves to explore conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's always trying to expose what he sees as these hidden agendas, like elite manipulation.
Right.
And he claims that he actually infiltrated the Grove and got footage of this cremation of care ceremony.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what leads to this confrontation with David Gergen.
Right. Jones, basically armed with this insider information, ambushes Gergen with all these questions about the Bohemian Grove and what goes on there and the rituals. What are the implications of all these powerful men gathering in secret?
I want to hear some of this. So let's hear a bit of that encounter. This is the part where Jones really pushes Gergen's buttons.
Yeah.
Asking him about running naked in the woods.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so we left off with Gergen, like, not happy with the line of questioning about running naked in the woods. But then it's like Jones just keeps pushing.
He does, and
Yeah.
that's when we see Gergen really start to lose it a little bit.
Okay.
Jones reveals that he actually infiltrated the Bohemian Grove,
What?
and he got it all on film.
No way.
Yeah, he filmed some of their activities, including the cremation of care ceremony.
Oh, wow.
So Gergen can't really just brush it off at that point.
Right, yeah, let's hear that.
Okay. Audio clip plays.
Wow, Gergen is angry,
Yeah.
accusing Jones of breaking an agreement, calling him ungentlemanly. There's like some serious rules.
Unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it really shows how important secrecy is within the Bohemian Grove.
Right.
Gergen's not just mad about being ambushed, like he's upset about the violation of this code of silence.
It's like a sacred thing. It
Exactly.
really makes you wonder, like, what is it about this group, that demands this intense secrecy?
Right.
If it's just like a fun retreat, while the hush hush.
Well, and that's kind of the million-dollar question, right? I mean, some argue it's just to protect their privacy.
Okay.
They want to just relax and socialize
Makes sense.
without the public eye on them. Yeah.
Yeah, but then others, I mean, like Alex Jones, obviously,
Right.
see it as something a lot more sinister.
Yeah, I mean, Jones views the secrecy as proof that something's going on.
Okay.
Like that the Grove is where powerful men make these backroom deals and they influence policy and engage in activities they don't want the public to know about. So
Wow.
it's like we have these two competing narratives, harmless retreat versus a secret cabal pulling the strings of power.
Yeah.
And this clash between Jones and Gergen is kind of a perfect example of that whole debate.
Yeah, a microcosm.
Yeah, exactly. And the way they approach the interview, too, reflects their positions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Gergen's like, he represents the establishment,
Right.
and he's very guarded, controlled.
Like he wants to maintain that power, keep
Exactly.
the status quo.
Yeah, he wants to keep the secrets, dismiss Jones as an outsider.
Okay.
And Jones, on the other hand, he's
The disruptor.
the truth seeker. Yeah, he embraces that role,
Okay.
challenging the system, exposing what he sees as corruption.
Right, right. But is he justified in doing that? Because Gergen calls him, what was it, an ambush journalist or something?
Yeah, ambush
Is
journalist.
that what Jones is doing?
It's a good question.
Is that crossing a line?
Oh, so ambush journalism, it basically means confronting someone out of the blue
Mm-hmm.
with information that might be embarrassing or incriminating.
Right.
And
So is that what's happening here?
yeah, I mean, you could argue that it's definitely a gray area
Okay.
because some would say his methods are justified
Right.
because he's exposing these powerful people.
Uh-huh.
But then others might say it's too intrusive.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's not respectful.
Right.
So it's tricky.
It's a tricky ethical question, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this debate, it goes beyond this interview. Like what's the role of journalism?
You know what I mean? Yeah, the public's right to know.
Privacy.
Right.
It's a balance.
Yeah, it seems like there's no easy answer.
No.
But, I mean, even if we forget about that for a second, the fact that Gergen gets so mad, like,
Right.
so defensive,
Right.
it just makes it seem like there's something they're hiding.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It feeds into that suspicion.
like they're anxious about it.
Yeah, there's something more to this than
Yeah.
just a, guy's weekend.
Right, right. And then Jones, he picks up on that anger, right?
He does.
It's like, oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, like he sees it as proof
Yeah.
that he's onto something.
That he's, like, exposed something.
Exact.
And this is where it gets really interesting because this is where he brings up Moloch.
Right.
Let's listen to that clip.
Okay.
So, wow, we went from, like, these strange rituals to, like, accusations of Moloch worship.
Yeah, it escalated quickly.
Yeah, it feels like we've gone, like, pretty deep here.
We have. I mean, Jones's claims, they might seem out there to some people.
Right.
But, I mean, for centuries, people have associated these secret societies with, like, darkness, bad stuff,
Yeah.
hidden agendas, And these groups, just by, like, their very nature, they invite that kind of speculation and fear.
Yeah, it's like the secrecy itself, it just breeds suspicion.
Totally.
We start filling in the blanks with, like, our own anxieties. What could be happening behind closed doors?
Exactly. And then you get, like, a figure like Alex Jones, who's really good at tapping into that fear
Right.
and
Yeah.
turning it into these narratives.
So, like, why do you think these accusations, even like the really extreme ones, gain traction? Why are we so drawn to conspiracies, especially when it's like secret societies?
Well, I think conspiracy theories, they give us this sense of order
Yeah, okay.
in a world that can feel really chaotic.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, yeah.
Like
yeah.
they give us these simple explanations for things that are really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And often they do that by giving you like a clear enemy,
Right.
this group to blame.
So instead of dealing with like the messiness of reality, sometimes bad things just happen.
Exactly.
It's easier to have like a target.
Right. And especially when it's like a secret society, because, there's this deep-seated fear of the unknown.
Right.
Like there are these forces at work, we don't understand them, they're pulling the strings.
But just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good to be like critical of those in power. We
Hmm.
should question things, but, we also got to be careful not to go too far down the rabbit hole.
Right. So how do we do that? How do we deal
Mhm.
with secrecy and these ideas without buying into like the crazy stuff?
I think it's about like critical thinking.
Okay.
We need to be aware of our own biases.
Yeah.
Like, what makes us want to believe certain things? We got to check our sources. Are they credible?
Yeah.
What's their agenda? And, most importantly, I think, being willing to, like, question your own beliefs.
Right.
Even the things you hold dear.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself.
It's like we need a filter, sort through the noise and try to find the truth.
Exactly. It's tempting to get caught up in all the drama,
Yeah.
but sometimes the truth is just, like, more boring.
Right. So, I mean, wrapping up our deep dive into the Bohemian Grove, I'm definitely fascinated and
You,
maybe a little uneasy.
yeah, it's definitely a weird world.
Yeah, power and secrecy, it's captivating and disturbing at the same time.
It is.
Yeah.
And, we may never know the full story about the Bohemian Grove,
Right.
but hopefully this gave you a little bit of a framework.
Uh,
Like, how do we understand these secret societies? How do we understand conspiracy theories?
hmm.
And, like, how do we use critical thinking?
I think it's a good reminder that the truth is really hard to find, but we got to keep looking.
We got to keep asking questions, keep digging, keep challenging those narratives.
Yeah.
Like sometimes even the wildest claims, they can make us think,
Right.
like about our own beliefs,
Yeah.
our anxieties, the things that like really drive us.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, we may not have all the answers, but I think this deep dive gave us a lot to think about. The Bohemian Grove with all its secrets and power and rituals, it's like this symbol of all those hidden forces that influence our world.
It is, yeah.
And it shows us how much we want to find explanations, even if those explanations are kind of strange.
It reminds us that the world is a strange and mysterious place,
Yeah.
and understanding it is a journey. We got to be curious, but also like a little bit skeptical.
Love that. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.